In this video, we're going to talk about the point of sale settings. So the first thing you can do is go to the settings wrench in the back office. You can scroll down to channels. And then you can select edit next to your point of sale channel. Now I have a couple of point of sale channels set up, but this is the one I use most often, and this is the one I want to edit. So I'm going to click this button. And here you will see your settings configuration for the point of sale. So I've got some options here that I can change. I can select my tax authority if this is taxable or not. I can select the inventory location that my stock pulls from, and I can set the default price book for this location, which is going to be Oakland. If you have more than one point of sale lane, you can enter those here. If you want the customer to receive a printed copy or an email copy of the receipt, you can turn that on here. I'm going to use prompt because I want it to prompt me to give me the option to do one or the other. If you have sales specials, this is for your specials price book, and you can set that here. If you have different currencies, you can set those up here and select the default for your channel. Discount coupon configuration, you can enter your coupons here. So I can say new discount coupon, and then if let's say we have a spring, I can just enter that here. You can enter the type of discount, so if it's fixed or a percent, you can put that in here as well. So I could say a 10% discount, and I would have to enter percent as a decimal. There we go. So enter that as a decimal. And you could put the start and end date of the coupon. So let's say we could extend that to the end of the month. And then if I wanted to only have this coupon available in certain categories, I would select the categories here that I wanted that coupon to apply to, or I can just leave it alone to indicate that it applies store-wide. I can check this. If I uncheck this, it makes it inactive. So we can click save, and you have a coupon. And then you can go back to the channel settings. Let me get back there. Okay. Other configurations, if you want to accept that you will issue credits to the account, apply credits, charge to account. This would be if you need have customers that have terms or something like that. Payment methods just maps your payment method. So if I take a cash sale in the point of sale, it's going to map to the cash payment method that I have set up in Agiliron. And so that's done under settings payment methods if you need to do your mapping. Okay, so we have a number of options here. Once you select, so for example, if you're using Mercury, or it's Vantiv now, if you're using Vantiv, when you select this, it adds this tab for Vantiv, and then you can go in and add your merchant information. If you take checks, you can turn that off or on. This enables, basically when you enable your payment methods, each tab comes up here for that payment method. Charge to account, issue credit, apply credit, and then purchase order. Some people use purchase orders when they make purchases. Configuration. So this is probably the most important screen that you care about. This allows you to set up certain things on the point of sale, such as if you want to allow associates to make changes to pricing and assign discounts to line items. So you can have a line item discount or a total order discount. Allow exchanges and returns. So basically you set these to yes or no to turn these off and on. Process returns without a credit card terminal. This is if you're using a Vantiv. Auto detect offline mode. So what this does, if this is turned on and your internet goes out, basically it would save all of your, you could still continue to take sales, and then once your internet's back up, you can sync to the back office, and then you won't lose any of your sales information. If you want to ship orders, you can turn this off or on. Reports just allow you to print reports at the point of sale. Assign to allows you to assign users to the transactions. So if you have someone set up as a user under settings users, whenever you open up the point of sale, you can assign that person to the transaction. Partial product search. This just allows you to search for products more easily. You can type in part of a product name and it would bring up a list of products that are similar. Line item notes, this allows you to add a note to the product on the receipt for the customer. Cash drawer payouts, if you need to take a payment out of the register for, let's say, petty cash or stamps, maybe you're ordering pizza that day, you can record that transaction in the point of sale. Clock in and clock out, this allows associates to clock in and clock out at the point of sale. Allow credit card terminals, this must be turned on if you're using EMV terminals. Layaway orders, hold orders. Hold orders just allow you to place an order on hold so the customer can come back later and make that purchase. The difference in this and layaway is layaway you have to have a down payment. Hold orders you don't have to have a payment to create that order. Quick access selection. This allows you to, we have quick access buttons, and this allows you to determine how those are displayed either through a drop down or a grid selection. And so this is for categories and products, and so you'll see that whenever we go to the point of sale. It's currently set up as grid, and then if you want it to be a drop down, you can select drop down. You have customer receipt options, so you can determine how you want your customers to get their receipts. If you want to turn on gift receipts, duplicate receipts, if you want to create an order for invoice for the point of sale order, you can do that. This allows you to set the sales receipt format. So we currently have the ability to customize your sales receipts. So we have the default receipt, and then you have the point of sale sales receipt customizable. This allows you to edit the template. You can edit the HTML and make a nice little receipt of your own. If you can change gift receipts, return receipts, and then if you're creating an invoice from the point of sale, you've got the ability to customize that as well. This is done under settings, templates. Inventory options, if you want to display the unit cost and the stock location on your product. So when we go to the point of sale, you'll see if I click on a product and click the I button, I can see the unit cost and stock location information across all locations there. Pricing options, if you have wholesale customers that come into your store, and let's say you've set them up in Agiliron with their own special pricing, when they come into the store, if this is turned on, they will receive the pricing that's set up in their customer account. If this is turned off, they will get the point of sale pricing. So whatever the price book is, when they come in and make a purchase, if it's set to the retail price, that's exactly what they get. So if you need this turned on, you'd select that to yes. Buy X for Y, basically you can, if you buy a certain number of products, you can get it for, a certain amount of money. And then you select. This requires a setup of a special price book, so you would set up a price book for that, put the products in it, and then here this is the quantity that you have to purchase in order to get your discount. And we have a separate section, training section on this in the user guide. In the event, so you can actually, if the customer buys all 10 of those, you can say, even if they only buy 5, they can still get the discount. So you can say yes, you have to buy 10 before you get your discount. That's what that's for. Alright, and that just applies to that. So sales tax options. This allows you to determine the sales tax rate on the point of sale. So you've got a default one up here. So this is your default tax rate at the point of sale. However, if your wholesale customers are coming in and buying products at the point of sale as well, you can set this to customer account tax authority, and then your wholesale customers can come in and make purchases tax free, and then your retail customers will still be charged the retail price with tax. And then that sales tax for ship orders, and that's the same thing. So you just set what you want there. So once you're done setting up your options, you click save, and then that saves your preferences. And then you can go into the point of sale, and you'll notice, so I've got 2 screens up here actually. You can open the back office and the point of sale on 2 separate screens. So I have in Google Chrome, I have a tab for my back office, and then I've opened an incognito window for my point of sale. So I can just go to the point of sale and log in, and I can still operate in the back office and have the point of sale up as well. When I go to the point of sale, if I have more than one lane, I'll be asked to select my lane. And since I have more than one point of sale, I have 2 locations. So I'm going to select the location that I'm working at and the lane that I'm working on, and click OK. This is very important if you're pairing your EMV terminals, so you'll want to pay close attention to what lane and location you're on for when you pair those terminals. And so this is the point of sale. So based on the options I've turned on, you'll see I've got icons here on the left. So this is your standard sales icon. Here's for hold orders. So I could pull up, if I had hold orders, I could pull up the orders that I have on hold here and review them. I can click review and review my hold order there. If my customer wants to check out, I can check out. I can put it back on hold, or if they want to put it on layaway, I can do that as well, but I would have to accept a down payment. These are the layaway orders. If I had orders on layaway, I can bring those up. And this brings up my layaway order. And this shows me that they've paid $50 for this order, and this is the balance due. These are for sales returns, so you can enter the sales order number if you know it, or if you just need to create a return and you don't have a sales receipt, you can just click OK, and you can continue to create your sales return here. You have exchanges. So if I need to exchange an order, basically this works the same way. I can put in the order number, or if I don't have it, I can just click OK and I can actually create my exchange. The difference with an exchange is I can say, let's say the customer is purchasing this product and they're exchanging this one. So what I do here is I'm going to edit my quantity and change it to a -1. That indicates this is the item that's being returned. This is the only time you can enter a negative quantity on the point of sale. It's when you're doing an exchange. And then this tells you how much is due to the customer. And then I can say cash and click checkout and complete that transaction, or whatever the payment method that I'm giving the return back on, the exchange. You can review sales. If you know your sales order number, enter it here. This is review returns, so I could pull up a return and look at it here with an order number. This is my cash payout, so this is where I was talking about if you need to petty cash, have petty cash or something like that. So I can say $10 for stamps and click payout, and then I can print a receipt for that. And there's just a receipt for the payout that I completed. So this just lets you record that you took money out of the cash register. My reports are over here, so we turned that on earlier, and you've got your X out status, your Z out store close, your aggregate, and then your Z out drawer count. So if you need to count your cash drawer down, you can select the date and get report, and then you see this is the beginning amount. This is the paid out amount. This is that $10 I just paid out a while ago. You can click on count, and then you can count by your tender, and then it should show you if you have, if I need to leave $50 every day in the drawer, and then this should tell me what my deposit is. Okay, you can click cancel. Sales detail report. So if I click on this, I can look at a report of sales for the day. I can sort it by date to get a date range and apply a filter. I can see all the sales I've got for the past month. I can print this report, and I can email this report. If I need to review an order, I can actually pull it up here and review sales. I can create a return, or I can create an exchange all at this screen. And then the other thing I can do is time tracking. So let's say employees have clocked in. You can pull up a report, apply a filter, and you can look at the times that they've clocked in. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have any, but you could see the employee's name, their IP address, the lane they were in, and any notes. So if they clocked in late or clocked out late or something like that, you could put notes here, clocked out early. They can put a note here and let you know why. You can also print and email this report as well, and then this just shows the total time worked down there. Other features on the point of sale. So we have some payment methods that we turned on. For using Vantiv, you'll see this gift card icon, so that allows you to process gift cards at the point of sale. Account allows me to charge to my customer's account. Credit allows me to apply credit and issue credit. And then PO, this just if a customer comes in and they have a purchase order, they've been approved to make a purchase, or make a purchase, they have the requisition, you can put in that PO number there. Alright, other settings up here at the top on this gear icon, you have the ability to lock the point of sale if you need to walk away for a minute, change your password, pair credit card terminal. So if you have an EMV terminal, this is where you pair it. So there's instructions in the back office under Learning Center on how to pair your terminals. If you need to unpair it, this is where you do this. Clock in and clock out. If I click on that, this allows me to clock in, add a note, and then when I'm ready to clock out, I'll go through the same process. Also have the ability to issue the gift card. So if a customer wants to purchase a gift card, I can do that here. I can reload a gift card, and then I can also check their balance here. So these are some of the basic features that we turned on. Some of the other items we looked at were the quick access buttons. So for example, I have a matrix item here, and if I click on it, I've got a grid display here. So this displays all of the matrix sizes and colors that I've set up for this product. And I can select from this list, and then it adds the product to this order automatically. So I can go into the settings and I can actually change and set that to, let's see, we'll go to, here we go. Let's do it on drop down. Anytime you make a change in the point of sale, you need to, if you do it in the back office and you've got the screen up, you need to go back to the point of sale and click reload. I can refresh this. So when I refresh the screen, it updates the point of sale. Just make sure you're selecting the same location and lane again. So if I click on this now, I've got a drop down selection for my sizes and colors. So that's the difference in the grid and the drop down layout for your quick access buttons. Click that, click set, and then that adds it to the order. The same applies to the categories. So if I click on one of the categories, it should allow me to do the same thing, except for this should allow me to select from the grid. So these are the basic setup items for your point of sale. The other thing we didn't touch on was shipping. We can also look at our coupon. So I added that coupon. It's going to give me 10% off my order there. And then I can also ship this order. You have to select a customer before you can ship it. So we'll select a customer there, and then we can ship it, and I can select a shipping service there, and I can even put in, if I know how much my shipping amount is, it'll add that shipping to the order. I can click check out, and then that will send the order to the back office, and then your warehouse can fulfill the order. Another thing I wanted to mention that we looked at, I'm going to click on this product and click on this I button here. This will give me my product information. It's going to show me the stock location, the bin location, and then how many I have in stock at each location here. It's also going to show me my unit cost. So in the settings configuration on the point of sale channel, we set up these options for display. So that's where these come into play. In the point of sale settings, if you've turned on the ability for the customer to charge to their account, you can view their account credits using this button here. And so if I wanted to apply that balance to this order, I could actually use this button here to apply that credit to this order. You can add customers at the point of sale as well. So let's say I have a new customer and I want to add their information. I'll click the Add Customer button. You can enter their information, select their tax authority, price book, customer type if you have that, and enter a discount if they get some kind of permanent discount. Billing and shipping information, all that can be entered here. You can also edit a customer. If I click edit, I can change that same information here. And then the assign to button, if I want to assign this to someone else, I could say we'll change it to this user, and then that person would get the credit for the sale. You may have noticed this quantity button over here. You can use that to add quantity to the order. So let's say I want to add a quantity of 3 of this item. So when I do that, I can put in the quantity, type in the product code there, and then the quantity will appear. So now you can also use a barcode scanner to scan in your products instead of doing everything manually. I just don't have one for this demonstration. But basically the same thing would apply. You could enter a quantity of 3, scan the barcode, and then it would add that to the order. Or you can just scan the product 3 times and it would add a quantity of 3 to the order. At the top here, we've got a couple of icons. One is for full screen, so you can select this depending on the device you're on and expand the view of your point of sale. That's your online status. In the event you get knocked offline, this is the button that you would click to sync to the back office so you don't lose your sales. And this is where you log out if you want to log out of the point of sale. Also, you'll notice there's no images over here for the categories, but there are product images. So the products, when you add images to your products, those will display here at the point of sale. And then the categories, those are set up in the back office under settings, product category configuration, and you can add images for each category, and then those would display here as well if that's important to you. So these are the basic features of the point of sale settings. We'll have more videos that go into creating a transaction and a exchange and a return and things like that later. This is just a basic overview to get you started.